And with that being said, we did. My goodness, I can't believe that we used to work with each other. Okay, so needless to say, we go here, and do a couple of posts. And I copy, paste, and so the Pacers and the Heat. Let's kind of like get into that right now.
All right.
What do you think about this whole situation?
Well, the Heat usually come out the gate late. They come out the gate slow sometimes. It's almost like they kind of bake themselves into a sense of urgency type of atmosphere, type of moment. And that's how they like to play. They like to play with their backs up against the wall, unless it's a subpar team, like, how they went through the Chicago, not Chicago, the
Bobcat.
Charlotte, the Bobcats. They knew, okay, the quicker we can get past them, the more rest we can get and the more healthy we can get. And the same thing with Brooklyn. Once they found the real vulnerability to Brooklyn, they went on and handled their business quick. So now, of course, you're in the conference finals. The competition is a little bit more steep. You got Indiana, who's a great matchup for the Heat, size-wise, tempo-wise, talent-wise, the whole nine. So now, the Heat don't really need to bake themselves so much into that sense of urgency. Indiana is going to actually kind of swing on them a little bit to get them geared up. So I don't know, man. I like the Heat in game 2, but at the same time, I will not panic if Indiana takes game.
Okay. I was thinking about this because I really wasn't hoping. I was really hoping that the Pacers would lose, but they seem to.
Pacers would lose.
Yeah, because let's think about it. Ever since the All-Star game, the Pacers was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
The Hawks beat them almost. The Hawks looked like they could have took them.
Yeah.
Wizards looked like they could have taken them.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I'll
all
go
of a sudden,
with you on that.
play right for the Heat.
Yeah, but see, again, all year the Indiana Pacers mindset has been, we got to get the Heat. We got to get the Heat. We got to get the Heat. So I think this is really what they have been waiting for the entire season. The Wizards and who was the other team they played?
The Hawks.
Right. The Wizards and the Hawks were just little stepping stones for them. And they, and like you say, it looked for a moment there like, oh my goodness, Indiana may not make it, but for me, man, nothing like that. I just think they're ready for this particular series right here.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'm still thinking that this is going to be Game 6 Heat.
Yeah. My partner PDA and I just talked about it, and we were like, yeah, we're thinking the Heat maybe in 6 games.
6 games, right? They're not going to let this. Now, is the Heat ready for the Spurs?
Can you see my picture? Is it still up or no?
I see you partially. Yes.
Okay, because it's not showing me on the screen. That's why I was just trying to make sure it was up. Say it again. What was your question?
We know that the Spurs are going to beat the Thunder in 4 games. I think it's going to be a sweep.
Did you say 4 games?
4 games.
Okay.
It's over. I don't even think that there's even no hope for the Thunder. I mean, Ibaka's out.
Okay,
Um,
I'm with you on that. I think maybe five or six, but definitely I got the Spurs. You know, my heart's set on the rematch from last year. That was such an exhilarating finals for me. Um, I just think that me, along with the rest of the world, want to see the Spurs and the Heat rematch. They just want to see it.
is the Heat ready for them? Because the Heat isn't as fan. Now, don't get me wrong. LeBron James, he is the man, the best player of all time.
Listen, you ain't gonna like my answer. You ain't gonna like where I'm going.
But the Spurs is consistent. They're consistent. They just win. That's all they like to do is win.
You know what it is for me? And this is the only reason I don't want to see the Miami Heat win. The only reason.
Okay.
And it's not even a legitimate one, but it's all personal to me. The only reason I don't want to see the Miami Heat win is because I don't want LeBron James to be in the same elite status of winning 3 back-to-back rings like Kobe Bryant. I can't let it happen. I'm a Kobe fanatic. So LeBron can get 19 rings if he wants. I just can't let him win 3 back-to-back. I can't do it.
You can't let him get 3.
I can't let him do it. That's only for Jordan and Kobe. That's it.
Wait, Kobe was allowed, or well, let me phrase that. What happened to the Lakers?
What, this year? Management. Our daddy passed, so it's going to take us a minute. Our daddy passed, man.
Okay, it's going to be a minute. All right.
Yeah.
So you want the Spurs to beat the Heat?
I want the Spurs to beat the Heat.
I don't want the Spurs to beat the Heat. I want the Spurs to beat the Thunder, and I think they will. I don't even think that's I thought Westbrook was going to be their nightmare. Well, now it doesn't matter.
I think once the shot blocking and the space of what they lose with Ibaka being gone, I just don't think they have enough firepower on the defensive end or offensive end to compete with the depth of what Greg Popovich has. You know, I think his bench is too deep. He's got too many looks he can throw at you with using almost a 9-10 man rotation. You know, and with somebody like Serge in, you don't really care about that because he's so versatile, he's so athletic, he's so skilled, his IQ, I mean, he's smart on the basketball court. When you take that away, plus his points, I just think against a powerhouse like San Antonio, who's really polished, who's really pretty much running on about 92% health, I just think it's going to take a team like the Heat on all cylinders to beat them again. If it happens.
If it happens.
Yeah. Now, I don't want it to. Now, I think the Heat and I mean, when we look back at last year, man, I mean, we're what, 1 rebound away from the Spurs winning? We're one heroic 3-pointer away from the Spurs winning. You know, I just, for me, on any given night, the Heat can beat the Spurs can beat the Heat can beat. I would love for this to turn into a back and forth thing. The Spurs get this year, Heat come back again and get them next year. They take a year off and then come back and do it all over again like the Celtics and the Lakers used to do. Yeah, so you know this is just good for the game. What we're seeing starting to birth here.
I'm looking back now. I'm not really a big basketball head. I just kind of got started.
Okay.
This playoff, I would have to say, was the best playoff from the West that I've ever seen in. I almost want to go back to the 90s.
Oh man, no, it was some drag out knockouts, man. It was. I see what you're saying, and this has been good, but oh man, back in the day, because you got to remember, back in the day, it was a different style of play. You know, they let the guys play a little bit. They let them throw a few more punches. They let them knock each other on the ground a little bit. It was a lot more blood, you know. Not that I'm a proponent for making the game dirty, but you just saw the guys out there in the middle of that court just look like gladiators, and they were playing for their lives, man. So, you know, it was, to me, it was just more of a grit game. Now it's more of a finesse game. It's still very, very enjoyable, but I don't think it compares to the old days.
Oh, okay. So the Lakers back in the day, the Pistons back in the day, they still got the game.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. All right. But there's no way, and as great as Jordan is, I don't think he could have hung up with some of the numbers that I'm seeing from like Kevin Durant and LeBron James. I mean, their numbers is unreal.
Yeah, the superstars of today. I mean, that's what Jordan was doing. I mean, Isaiah was doing it. Bird was doing it. Magic was doing it. You know, but just today, it's such a landslide with what the other guys are doing. Till you're right, it just seems so much more. But I mean, you know, these different kind of game, man. Different kind of. Would LeBron be as successful back there coming to the hole with a Charles Oakley down there, or meeting on one side Rick Mahorn and on the other side of Bill Laimbeer? I mean, you know, that's as big as LeBron is, you know, he would be taking beatings every night like Blake Griffin takes. And I don't know, that just tends to wear on you if you don't have, you know, the stamina for it. So, you know, different day, different breed of ball player, if you ask me.
So, game 2, is this going to the Heat or the Pacers?
Now, if we just talking as boys, I just got off the phone with my dude PDA, and we just said it to each other. I told him, I said, I can easily see the Pacers winning tonight, and I won't panic if they do. I won't panic for the Heat. I don't think it's crunch situation. This is the Heat style of play. Sometimes they like to get punched in the mouth to wake themselves up. Now, maybe the Heat have turned over a new leaf, and how they lost game 1, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you know what, I think they're going to be better prepared for this one. I think it'll be closer. And the Heat may sneak this one away. The Heat may sneak this one away.
Oh, okay. All right. So you wouldn't be surprised if this was game 2-0.
I wouldn't be surprised or panic if the Pacers go ahead and take it to them one more game. I wouldn't be surprised. The Pacers are a tight matchup for the Heat. They meddle with the Heat. They match up well with the Heat. They don't have to do a lot of double teaming with the Heat. You know, and that gives the Heat's problem. The Heat is very, very good at finding an open man, especially when you collapse on D Wade or you collapse on Bron. You know, the Heat is very good for finding that open Mario Chalmers, that open Ray Allen, that open Battier. You know, so with the Indiana Pacers is they don't have to do a lot of that double teaming. So you don't have a lot of collapsing, you know, as much as you would think, unless they know that LeBron is about to converge onto the basket, then they actually converge on him. But you know, it's a good matchup. It's a good matchup size-wise. It's a good matchup mentally. You know, the Indiana Pacers walk around with the swagger. They walk around with a chip on their shoulder like they can beat these guys. You know, they felt like they took them to 7 games last year. You know, they just feel like we can get them. You know, we can get these guys.
All right. Now, I disagree. I think the Pacers is not consistent enough to take the Heat out. And these are my formulas or my keys of what will cause the Pacers to lose.
Okay.
If Roy Hibbert scores under 10 points, the game is over. If Stevenson, if he don't score more than 10 points, the game is over, because we know Paul George, he's going to get his 20 points. We know it's done.
Okay.
It's done. But the X factor is Stevenson and Hilbert.
Yeah, I think unless the Heat can beat Hibbert up a little bit, I still think he's going to get his points. I think Lance Stevenson plays better at home. I think he just plays better against the Heat anyway, because he just dislikes them so much, so he plays with a different type of swagger. And plus, you add the home factor. Indiana just plays better at home against the Heat. Now, I'm not considering any of the Atlanta Hawks, any of the Wizards series games when I talk about the Heat with the when I talk about the Indiana Pacers with the Heat. I'm not considering those other two series at all. For some odd reason, when the Indiana Pacers play the Miami Heat, it's just a different team. You know, and I'm not basing that off of, you know, jumping the gun or going too far just because they won game one. We just see it. We've seen it for the last 3 years in the playoffs. You know, this Indiana just gets up for the Heat games. And I think it's going to be a knockout drag-out type of a series. Could easily go 7 games again, or like you said, maybe 6. The Heat are very well capable of winning. I think they can, you know, buckle down and go ahead and beat them. I think they're going to really struggle against San Antonio. But in terms of the Heat in Indiana, I definitely think the Heat will get them.
All right. Well, then we agree. This is thank you for the honor for allowing me for, you know, being my celebrity commentary on the Pacers.
I love this, man.
Heat.
This is kind of cool. You know what we need to do? We need to do this. Now I'm giving you a gold mine right now. You ready?
I'm waiting for you.
All right, Cynical. We need to do this on the Grammys, the American Music Awards. We need, you know what I'm saying? The Stellars.
Just say when.
Just come on and just do the whole. Instead of, see, what I don't like, man, is I don't like that sitting behind your computer every time somebody perform and going off of them. Oh, look at them floods he wearing. Or what does Jmoss got on? Or why Kirk Franklin got to be all over the place? I don't like that. Let's get on, show our faces. Let's commentate the things. Let's these big shows as they're going down, man. I love it. I think you're on to something here. I love it.
Thank you. I was hoping that you all saw the vision, but I had to plug up with the man, the myth, the legend. That's y'all. Y'all over there, y'all just hold it down. I'm honored.
No, it's awesome, man. I thank you. Thank you for allowing Pajam to help you with your vision, man. You know, we always got your back. Anytime you need my little 2 cents, I'm always willing to give it.
Thank you. And to everybody else, yes, that was Iconic Radio. That was Jmoss. Make sure you get his CD. It is amazing. I don't know why y'all haven't got it yet. And hey, that was my shameless plug. That had nothing to do with NBA. Until then, next time.